Throughout anyone's life, perception's really important. You need to know how other people see you in order to make sure that you continue to affirm this notion if it's positive, or work on it if not. My name's Georgianne Siller, and I'm currently a sophomore at Fordham University's Gabelli School of Business. Right now, I'm in the process of conducting a 3-6-1 analysis of my communication style. After taking the DISC personality assessment, I discovered one strength and one opportunity for improvement that I could continue to focus on. I then created 10 interview questions. I conducted interviews with 6 people from my life who know me in different environments: professional, academic, and personal. The interview questions remained constant for all interviewers, allowing me to see how others' perceptions of me may change in different settings. These questions were framed around my strength of being open-minded and my opportunity for improvement being that sometimes I'm a little bit sensitive to criticism. My desire to pursue a career involving international relations and fashion makes the mixture of cultures in this field omnipresent, so it's really important that I garner lots of information from different sources to see how my perception and my communication could possibly impact my relationships with other people. I chose 6 people to conduct interviews with, including Dr. Riley and Dr. Wells, my advisor from the French department, and my management professor, respectively. I then conducted interviews with Scott Kwiatkowski and Suzanne DeGruchy, who know me in professional settings. Scott, with whom I worked with at Sports Information at Fordham University, and Suzanne in New Jersey at Volunteers of America in Delaware Valley. I then asked Gabby D'Amato and Shannon Spillane, 2 good friends of mine who I spend time with regularly. My desire after posing these interview questions was to make sure that my strength only helps me and that my opportunity for improvement continues to get better. One of the personal strengths that I possess is open-mindedness. This was evidenced in my DISC results, which indicated that I am patient, that I inspire others to follow through with their own visions and ideas, and that I also am always willing to help no matter the situation. I asked my interviewees if they felt that my open-mindedness was evident when I communicate with them. I was told that I make people feel at ease, that I'm genuine and passionate about what I say, as well as appreciative and understanding of different cultures. I was also compared to some of their role models during a meeting because I pick up on things quickly, I'm accommodating, and I let people speak their minds, but I also know when to step in when it's my turn to participate. Included in some of the questions I asked about my strengths, I also spoke about my penchant for being detail-oriented and conscientious, as according to my DISC results. My interviewees felt that I was eloquent, thorough, and confident and open in my writing. When asked about my career aspirations, many of the interviewers felt that although basing a career solely on a communication style could be limiting in some aspects, that my options would not be limited, so long as I enjoy the work that I'm doing and that I care about a job and I choose a job that has integrity. For example, my interviewees felt that I am observant of the nuances in what people are saying and that I'm also a strong interpersonal communicator and interested in different perspectives, which explains my desire to pursue French, international relations, and fashion. Although I feel as though I've known it intuitively, one of my areas for my continual improvement was I rediscovered during my DISC assessment results. This opportunity for improvement was my tendency to take criticism too harshly. Although it may not be prevalent in my everyday life, I think it could definitely impact some of the other areas, such as my professional and academic settings. Because of my moderately high score in the cautious area on the DISC assessment, I have a tendency to want to maintain high standards of quality control. Noticing this, I asked if my communication habits revealed this trait, and one of my interviewees responded that while sometimes I can take criticism well, that I may take it a lot more to heart afterwards because I care so much about what I do. Also, I heard back that it could contribute to someone believing that I'm a lot more unsure than I think I am, because of my tendency to be worried about what people might negatively say about some of my work. I hesitate to speak my mind, which might make me sound unsure, and I also sometimes negate things that I've already said because I'm not sure how people will perceive them. But that in my experiences with some of my other interviewees, that it seemed like more of a preference to not make mistakes than it did not taking criticism well. Because I wanted to gain further insight into my hesitancy to speak up and avoid criticism, I decided to ask my interviewees how assertive they felt I was on a 10-point scale. While the average response was about a 4 or a 5 from my interviewees in personal, professional, and academic settings, they also felt that I should keep in mind that my opinion is valuable and that at times I should really start to believe more that my voice does need to be heard in certain situations. I have a tendency to back off and assume that the loudest voice is more valuable than mine just because I don't always want to put my ideas out there, but that in smaller groups I can be more assertive. It just isn't always apparent in some aspects of my life. For example, my professional experience, I worked more with larger teams and I also did a lot of things independently, so it was difficult for the interviewees to gauge that kind of a response. I was also told that sometimes I may be too accommodating of others. I think my hesitancy about criticism also tends to my tendency to want to people please, and that sometimes I can put other people's needs before mine, and it may be a detriment to my own work without me realizing it. However, I think that given the conclusions about my strengths and my opportunities to improve, that I'm now ready to move forward into discovering a plan that will help me change others' perception of me for the better by becoming a stronger communicator and taking the necessary next steps.